Kevin Durant might be one of the most polarizing superstars in the league considering the way he won his championships, but regardless of how you feel about him, there's no denying the fact that this man was just born to play basketball. He's literally the height of a center with a jumper as smooth as a baby's bottom, and his nickname is literally Easy Money Sniper. But without going down the glazing rabbit hole too much, I basically figured a KD build would be a lot of fun, and just so happened to really like Dignify2K's version a lot. It can finish really well with great shooting attributes and even some defense. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this build review and see if it's actually worth the money. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notice if you haven't yet. Jesus Christ, first always, man. Enjoy. YouTube, Robinick, aka Gaming with Romsky. What it do, y'all? Hey, God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning into another video. As you guys saw by the title, as you guys saw by the intro, today we're making Kevin Durant, so I'm not gonna waste too much of your time. We're gonna get into this right now, but just go ahead and get your beverage of choice, man. I got this little mustache black coffee. See if you guys can see it. I got the black coffee with a little bit of honey. Get your beverage of choice, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this build review. I'm gonna let you guys know if it was worth the money. I seen Dignify2K'S. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch his videos like that. I think I've seen 2 of his videos before that. His build looks really solid, so I copied it, copy and paste, and I'm gonna give you guys my honest build review. Before we get into that, Happy New Year, you guys. Merry Christmas. Sorry I wasn't posting during the holidays. Took a little rest and relaxation. I'm hitting it hard now, and I got some builds lined up for y'all, so look, stay tuned. We're gonna be Kevin Durant right 35. Let's go ahead and jump into this build review. Let's go ahead and continue. We're gonna be a power forward. Height's gonna be 6'10". Our weight is going to be 211 pounds, and our wingspan is gonna be 7 foot. There's a big debate on what actual height Kevin Durant is. I think 6'10", you get the most that you can in terms of his dynamic skill set versus 6'11" and 7 foot. So if you want to make yours maybe closer to 6'11", 7 foot, go ahead and do so at your own risk. Let's go ahead and get a sip of this coffee. Let's jump right into the physicals first. So we're gonna have an 80 speed on this build. 80 speed is actually really fast for a 6'10" build, and I feel like you can outrun most of the people who are going to be playing big. Our agility is going to be a 75, so again, we're pretty high up there on the physicals in terms of speed and agility. We can't see any badges that we get yet, but we're just gonna go ahead and blaze through this. So our strength is going to be a 73. Durant's sort of known for his skinnier frame, so take this with a grain of salt, but 73 strength I would say is pretty solid. We will get into sort of what tweaks I would have made in hindsight, but our vertical is also going to be a 75 vertical, so we're going to be able to get some good dunk packages with this build. Let's go ahead and move on to the finishing. So something that I really like with this build, 87 driving dunk. We're going to pair the 87 driving dunk with a 85 layup, and then our close shot, or not the close shot, but actually our post control is going to be an 87 as well. So we know Kevin Durant likes to play with his back to the basket. That's one of the emphasis that I had on this build. So we're going to have an 82 close shot and 57 standing dunk. Overall, there's not much I would honestly tweak about the driving dunk. We know 87 driving dunk, we're going to unlock these animations right here. And then I really made an emphasis to really try playing with my back to the basket. Kind of, you know how KD likes to do his fades. KD's really tall, so he can usually rise up over defenders. I will say he's a very good finisher when it comes to driving dunk, when it comes to layup. We actually do get KD's driving layup, but our badges right here, we're going to get actually silver physical finisher, gold aerial wizard, silver float game, and silver layup mix master. I mentioned in my LAMELO ball video that I really wasn't the biggest fan of layups in general, but this does come in handy. I will say when you're going to get a driving dunk and maybe they don't give you the animation, you're going to get the layup meter. That's really good. Driving dunk at 6'10", 87, you might be thinking we only get silver posterizer. We do unlock some good driving dunk animations, and we also do get gold aerial wizard. And you'll see on the driving dunk animations that we actually do get some good contact alley-oops, so those are pretty cheap. So be telling your boys, you know, throw you the lob, be ready to dunk it. Like I was saying, 6'10" with a 7 foot wingspan, you're going to be rising up over most people. That's one thing that I will say. At a taller height, silver posterizer is good. If you're going to make a smaller build, maybe go a little higher and try to get this 93 for the gold posterizer, or use your cap breakers. At this point, we're into season 3, there's no telling how much cap breakers y'all sweaty folks got, but I really can't complain about the finishing. I was a big fan of it. Another thing, as we move on to the finishing that I really, or the shooting that I really like, was we're going to get an 86 mid-range, and we're going to pair that with an 83 3. And this is the jump shot that I was using. You see right here, we get silver deadeye, gold post fade phenom, silver set shot specialist, and we also get for the 3, we actually get a bronze limitless range out of this badge. But one thing that I will say that I did, put your +5 cap breakers on this mid-range, and you're going to then get a 91 mid-range jumper. Let's see what that gives us right here. This is not what we do on the build, but we will get the ability to get Hall of Fame post fade phenom. You still get silver deadeye, but I'm saying another thing that really activates a lot is this silver, or not the silver, but this gold set shot specialist. It is very good of a badge because sometimes you're not going to always get the ball. You need to play off ball. At a power forward with a 6'10" height, this build shoots really, really well. I will say one thing that I really did, really tried to make an emphasis about, was using the tempo shots, and I will say it makes your green window a lot better. Now, I tried it in my Curry build. I tried it in some previous builds as well, and I sort of let it go. I wasn't a fan of it. I will say that this build made me a big fan of the tempo shooting shooting again. I don't know if it's because he's a taller shooter, so you can sort of time the shot a little better, but I will say I had a lot of fun with the tempo shooting, and I was shooting probably dang near like 60%. Of course, I got my jump shot pack. I'm a stand by the jump shot pack, but we obviously don't have a 91 on here. We're gonna cap break it to a 91, so we're gonna go to an 86. So that's what we got right now. We actually get a 76 free throw out of this build, which is pretty solid. I played in some 1s and I also played in the 5s. I will say that 76 free throw for what it gets in the 5s court is pretty solid. I was still getting the hang of KD's free throw, but it was still good. 76, a lot better than say 60. Don't go into the rec with another don't go into the rec with like 60 or 65. I would say 70, 75 minimum. But let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking. So for the pass accuracy, we're going to have a 75 pass accuracy. 75 might be sort of like, I'm not going to say the meta, but it's a really good middle ground to get other things on your build if you don't want to have the highest pass accuracy, if you're not going to have the ball a lot, and when you do have the ball, if you're not looking to really pass it. I'm not creating offense with this build. I'm simply trying to go score and play good defense. So we will have the 75 pass ac. We're going to have Anthony Edwards pass style. We're going to get silver break starter, and we're also going to get silver dimer, which is nice. Not the best, but a great middle ground like I was saying. The ball handle is actually going to be a 75 as well, and the speed with ball is going to be a 68. I will say, like, these are pretty good attributes. Like, to get 75 ball handle, you see the animations that I unlock here. You're going to be able to dribble pretty well. Make a couple dribbles. If you don't get past them, kick it out, because you only get bronze handles for days. You get gold strong handle, but you can't be dribbling the rock and wasting the whole possession like that. Make a couple moves, and that's what 75 ball handle in my experience was good for. And get to the rack or play with your back to the basket. That's one of the things that I kind of want to go back to the mid-range and the three-pointer about, is just this post control. I was shooting a lot of faders. I was having a lot of fun using the tempo and using the sort of KD jumper. It just brought a breath of fresh air to the game. It's a style of play that's really not that normal, really not that common. So it was a lot of fun to sort of switch up this build to something that, you know, isn't too common, and play with some faders. You still got some dunk. You really could score in all 3 levels. Spoiler alert, this is a 3-level scorer, so it's true to its name. But I will say it was just a breath of fresh air playing with that post control, playing with the fades. Like, I would definitely recommend, if you're getting to that point in the season where sort of things are getting a little mundane, you need sort of a kickstart, an energy boost, maybe you want to try something out for the new year, I would try the post control and do some fades. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, you will get 91 mid-range when you cap break, so you will get Hall of Fame post fade phenom. I've been running it on gold, but it's still been a lot of fun. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the defense. So our defense, we're going to get a 73 interior defense, or 74 interior defense, and a 73 perimeter defense. I think for a 6'10 build, 73 is probably the max you should go. You see we get bronze challenger, bronze immovable enforcer, and then we also get silver off-ball pest. I wish silver off-ball pest maybe +1 that, because a lot of people are going to try to run backdoor you, but 73 perimeter is very solid. It's very good to have on a 6'10 build, because even if you potentially match up, maybe you go into the rec with 2 centers, you could still play the small forward decently well because of this perimeter. The interior, I will say, if you're using this build on a 1s, boost the strength and boost the interior defense, because I did notice in the proving ground 1s, I was going up against a lot of centers, and bruh, these cheesers, they just going back to the basket, drop step you, and dunk on you. And you will be able to get away with a little bit of stops, but you just won't be giving yourself the best opportunity to win if you stay with the 74 interior. So maybe boost the interior, and then I would definitely say boost the strength if you want to make this build for a 1s court. If you want to make it for the 1s court and you still want to play in the rec, but you want to make it a little bit better of a 1s court player, I would say maybe put your steal down a little bit. I don't think this build needs too much steal, which I guess segues pretty well into what we do have on this build on terms of our steal. So our steal is actually going to be a 73 as well. Silver interceptor is okay, but I won't say that it's a deal breaker for a build. Bronze glove is basically like you have nothing. You're not going to get any steals with bronze glove. Like, just don't think that you're doing anything. The only reason why I would say keep the steal is if you plan to +1 this on your tier 1, but then again, I don't like that fact, because then you have to wait till you get to the end of the season and get your tier 1 plus. I will say, if you want to put more interior, more strength, maybe take away this steal, because it's not too critical on the build, honestly. I was maybe getting 1 or 2 steals every couple, like 4 or 5 games, so it's not the best. The block, we're gonna have an 84 block. You see we're gonna get silver paint patroller, and we're also gonna get silver high flying denier. Now I will say I got a couple blocks, y'all, but 84 block really doesn't get you much. You really need either be in the gold, high flyer, and denier tier if you really want to have some good block, and if you really want to get more block animations, because honestly the 84 block doesn't really get you much. At 6'10", 7-foot wingspan, I thought he would be getting more blocks, but he actually doesn't. The only reason to keep the block is because I've actually noticed, and I've said this in previous videos, if you have a block, 84 block is pretty high, it'll actually help you with perimeter contests. So you can actually press Y and jump at your defender on the perimeter, and you'll give him like a yellow or a red type of contest animation. So that'd be one of the reasons why I like the block. At the same time, I don't get a lot of actual blocks at the rim. Do with that information what you will. Let's go ahead and move on to the final attributes, which is going to be the rebounding. So let's go ahead. We actually have an 80 D board, and our offensive rebound we're actually able to get all the way to a 68. So that's the build, y'all. I will say, out of 10, this was a lot of fun, y'all. Like, I really enjoyed this build. There could be some tweaks, like I was mentioning, the block and the steal, to where you can get something a little bit more well-rounded in terms of playing in the ones court and going against centers. But this was a lot of fun to score. The post control with the high mid-range, again, cap break that to a 91. The three-pointer at an 83. The new tempo shooting, the fades with KD. It was just super fun. I'm gonna say it's an 8.5. Dignified2K did not disappoint. Let's go ahead and see what shades we got. We're gonna move into the shades of Andre Kirilenko, Evan Mobley, Jason Tatum. Evan Mobley and Jason Tatum pretty solid. Andre Kirilenko, not really fooling with that. Put him on the Bills. Not the Bills. It's football season, y'all. My head's on the Bills. My head's on the NFL. Go Chargers, by the way. If you want him to be number 35, put him on the Bulls. 3-level scoring threat. Love you guys. God bless you. Until the next one, man. Keep your head tight. Keep your mind right. Keep your grind right. I love you guys, man. To the next one. Deuces.